If you really want to know when he's thinking about you, not because he texted, not because he liked your story, but because you feel it in your body before any proof appears, then what you're about to hear will change the way you see connection forever. Have you ever felt a sudden wave of warmth and wondered, was that him? Have you ever thought about him out of nowhere and minutes later he reached out? And what if the reason wasn't coincidence, but alignment? Most women try to figure out if a man is thinking about them by looking outside themselves. They check their phone. They replay conversations. They search for signs. But what if the real signal doesn't come from the screen, it comes from within you? Carl Jung believed that when a thought is charged with emotion, it doesn't stay trapped inside the mind. It enters a deeper layer of reality, a shared unconscious field where human beings are connected beyond logic. And when two people have an emotional bond, that signal becomes even stronger. This isn't about fantasy. It's about coherence. Because here's the truth no one tells you, you don't feel them thinking about you when you're anxious. You don't feel it when you're waiting. You don't feel it when you're doubting your worth. You feel it when you are aligned. There is a precise emotional state that allows you to sense when he's thinking about you. A state where your nervous system is calm, your heart is open, and your mind is not chasing an outcome. And once you enter that state, something shifts. The need disappears. The pressure dissolves. And what remains is a subtle certainty that doesn't ask for confirmation. In this video, I'm going to guide you through a powerful 33-second method designed to activate that alignment. You won't need to manipulate. You won't need to force. You won't need to guess. You will learn how to create the internal coherence that makes you sensitive to the invisible connection already there. And stay with me until the end, because I will reveal the most common mistake that blocks this process in almost every case. It's subtle. It feels innocent. But it quietly destroys the signal before it has time to echo. This is not about making someone think about you against their will. It's about tuning yourself to a frequency where connection becomes perceptible. When you stop chasing, you start sensing. When you stop needing, you start receiving. If you've ever felt tired of wondering where you stand. If you've ever wanted to feel chosen without asking. If you've ever desired a connection that feels natural instead of forced. Then this is for you. Everything begins with understanding that the body knows before the mind confirms. And when you learn how to listen to that language, you don't wait for proof anymore. You recognize it. And once you recognize it, everything changes. Because the connection you are seeking is not created in the moment he texts you. It is created in the invisible space where emotion, memory, and desire intersect. When you understand this, you stop feeling powerless. You stop wondering if you matter. Instead, you begin cultivating a presence so grounded and self-assured that thinking of you becomes natural. This method is simple, but simplicity does not mean weakness. It means clarity. And clarity is magnetic. By the time you finish this video, you will not only understand the principle, you will experience it inside your own body, where real certainty lives. And that changes how you relate to him. Maybe you've already tried. You've thought about him intensely. You've visualized him reaching out. You've repeated affirmations. You've tried to manifest a message. And nothing happened. No notification. No unexpected call. Just silence. And in that silence, a quiet question appeared. Am I doing something wrong? Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most women are not doing the technique wrong. They are doing it from the wrong emotional state. And that changes everything. Because when you think about someone from fear, your body is not transmitting connection. It is transmitting lack. When you imagine him while feeling anxious, your nervous system is activated. Your chest tightens. Your breath becomes shallow. Your thoughts speed up. Even if your words are positive, your physiology is saying something completely different. And the body always speaks louder than words. This is the invisible block. You may be saying internally, "He's thinking about me." But underneath that sentence there might be, "I hope I'm not losing him. I need reassurance. Why hasn't he reached out?" That emotional layer is the real signal being sent. Energy follows emotion, not vocabulary. If your emotional baseline is uncertainty, the field you create is unstable. And instability does not generate resonance. It generates noise. Think of it like this. Imagine standing in a canyon and shouting, "I don't have it." The echo will return, "I don't have it." The universe does not correct your emotional message. It reflects it. When you think about him from longing mixed with tension, what you amplify is absence. The more you try to force the thought, the more your body confirms that something is missing. And what you confirm internally becomes your experience externally. This is why many manifestation techniques fail. Not because they are fake, but because they are performed from a state of emotional hunger. Hunger repels. Wholeness attracts. There is a massive difference between wanting someone and embodying the feeling of being already connected. One feels like reaching out with empty hands. The other feels like standing still, knowing the current is already moving. Men, even unconsciously, respond to emotional coherence. They may not understand it intellectually, but they feel it somatically. Human nervous systems are designed to detect safety, tension, confidence, or need. When your state says, "I am complete whether he responds or not," your energy becomes calm, stable, magnetic. When your state says, "I need him to validate me," your energy becomes sharp, grasping, heavy. And heavy energy does not travel well. The invisible block is not that he isn't thinking about you. The invisible block is that your internal tension is interfering with your ability to sense it. You cannot perceive subtle connection when your body is in survival mode. You cannot feel resonance when your attention is obsessively scanning for proof. This is why the method you are about to use is not about imagining harder. It is about regulating deeper. It is about shifting from mental effort to embodied presence. When you calm your nervous system, your perception expands. When you release urgency, your intuition sharpens. When you stop trying to force a result, your body becomes receptive. And receptivity is power. This is where most women misunderstand feminine energy. They think it means being passive. It doesn't. It means being centered. It means your emotional state is not dictated by someone else's behavior. It means your sense of worth is not fluctuating based on response time. It means you are not chasing a reaction, you are cultivating alignment. And alignment changes everything. Because once your internal state is steady, you stop asking, "Is he thinking about me?" You begin noticing when he is. Subtle shifts. Unexpected memories. A sudden calm certainty that appears without logical cause. That sensitivity only becomes available when the noise of fear dissolves. So before we activate the 33-second method, you must understand this: the goal is not to make him think about you. The goal is to remove the internal distortion that prevents you from feeling the connection that may already exist. When you release lack, your field stabilizes. When your field stabilizes, your signal strengthens. When your signal strengthens, resonance becomes possible. And resonance does not require force. It requires coherence. To understand why this method works, you need to understand something deeper about human connection. Carl Jung spoke about what he called the collective unconscious, a shared psychological field beneath individual awareness. According to Jung, We are not as separate as we think. Beneath our personal memories and identities, there is a deeper layer where archetypes, emotions, and symbolic patterns connect us. This idea may sound abstract at first. But think about this. Have you ever thought of someone intensely, and moments later they contacted you? Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt tension without anyone saying a word? Have you ever felt someone looking at you, before you even turned around? These experiences point to something subtle but real. Human beings are constantly exchanging information beyond language. Modern neuroscience supports this in surprising ways. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field measurable several feet outside your body. Your brain emits electrical activity. Your nervous system continuously scans your environment for emotional cues. Even when you are silent, your body is communicating. Emotion is not just a feeling. It is a biochemical event. It is electrical. It is magnetic. When you think about someone while experiencing strong emotion, your body changes. Hormones shift. Your heartbeat adjusts. Neural pathways activate. That internal state creates a measurable pattern. Now imagine directing that pattern intentionally. This is where coherence becomes essential. If your thoughts say one thing but your body feels another, the signal becomes fragmented. The mind says, "He is thinking about me." The body whispers, "I'm afraid he isn't." The nervous system vibrates with tension. That fragmentation weakens the field. But when thought, emotion, and physiology align, when your body genuinely feels the reality of connection, the signal becomes coherent. Coherence amplifies transmission. Neville Goddard expressed this in a different way when he said, "You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are." What you are is not your words. It is your embodied emotional state. If you internally feel chosen, valued, connected, your nervous system stabilizes. That stability radiates. Not in a mystical way, but in a biological way. Humans are wired to respond to regulated energy. Think about how you feel around someone calm and confident. Their presence slows you down. Your breathing softens. You feel safer. That is nervous system synchronization. Connection is not created only through conversation. It is created through resonance. When two people have shared emotional experiences, their nervous systems become familiar with each other's patterns. Memory is not stored only in the brain. It is stored in the body. Certain tones of voice, certain facial expressions, certain emotional frequencies trigger recognition. So when you intentionally enter a state that mirrors connection, you reactivate that shared memory field. You are not forcing him to think about you. You are activating the energetic imprint that already exists between you. This is an important distinction. Force creates resistance. Alignment creates recall. When your emotional state becomes steady and open, you reduce internal noise. With less noise, perception increases. Subtle signals become noticeable. Intuition becomes clearer. Many women think they are trying to send something. But the deeper truth is that they are learning to tune in. Connection is not always about projection. Sometimes it is about reception. When your body feels grounded and complete, you are no longer in survival mode. You are not scanning for danger. You are not obsessively checking for proof. Your system is calm enough to perceive nuance. And nuance is where connection lives. This is why this method begins with regulation, not imagination. You are not trying to create obsession in him. You are cultivating coherence in yourself. Because once your internal state reflects certainty instead of doubt, something shifts. You stop asking, "Why hasn't he reached out?" You begin noticing moments of unexpected emotional pull. sudden memories. Soft waves of familiarity that arise without effort. Those moments are subtle. They cannot be perceived through anxiety. They are felt through alignment. Jung believed that what is unconscious influences us far more than what is conscious. When two people share emotional depth, their unconscious layers interact continuously. You may not be aware of it intellectually, but your body often is. The practice you are about to learn is not about controlling someone else's mind. It is about refining your own signal until it becomes clear. And clarity travels. When your heart, mind, and body communicate the same message, calm certainty, the field between you stabilizes. And in that stability, resonance becomes possible. Before you begin the actual 33-second method, there is something essential you must understand. If your internal field is chaotic, the signal will be weak. You cannot transmit clarity from confusion. You cannot perceive connection from agitation. You cannot feel resonance while your body is tense. Preparation is not optional. It is the foundation. Most women skip this part. They jump straight into visualization. They try to imagine the scene. They repeat affirmations. But if the nervous system is dysregulated, the exercise turns into mental effort instead of embodied alignment. This step changes that. First, find a moment where you can be alone for a few minutes. You don't need silence. You don't need candles. You don't need anything external. You only need your body and your attention. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. Do not control it. Do not deepen it. Simply observe it. Notice the air entering. Notice it leaving. When you observe your breath without forcing it, something subtle begins to happen. Your nervous system shifts from alert mode to regulation. Your body receives the message that it is safe. Safety is the gateway to connection. Now bring your attention to the center of your chest. Place one hand gently over your heart. This physical contact is important. It anchors awareness into the body instead of leaving it in the mind. As your hand rests there, imagine your breath moving directly into that space. Inhale into the heart. Exhale from the heart. You are not imagining love. You are cultivating coherence. The heart is more than a metaphor. It is an energetic amplifier. Research shows that the heart's electromagnetic field is stronger than the brain's. When you focus on this area while breathing slowly, heart rhythm begins to stabilize. Stability strengthens signal. Stay here for a few moments. If thoughts appear, let them pass. Do not fight them. Fighting creates tension. Let them move like clouds across the sky. Your job is not to empty your mind. Your job is to soften your body. Now we introduce the anchor. Choose one simple physical gesture that feels natural to you. It can be lightly pressing your hand to your chest, gently touching your fingertips together, softly brushing your forehead. Keep it subtle. This gesture will become your activation key. Every time you use it in the future, your body will remember the state you are about to create. The brain links physical movement with emotional memory. When you repeat a gesture in a regulated state, it becomes encoded as safety and alignment. This is how you build internal consistency. Before moving forward, check your body. Is your breath slower? Is your jaw softer? Are your shoulders less tense? If not, stay here a little longer. The goal is not relaxation for its own sake. The goal is coherence. When mind, heart, and physiology begin operating in rhythm, the internal noise decreases. And when noise decreases, perception increases. This preparation phase may feel simple. That is intentional. Complexity activates the mind. Simplicity activates the body. Once your body feels steady, once your heart rhythm feels calm, once your thoughts are no longer racing, you are ready. Because now you are not chasing a result. You are centered. And from a centered state, any signal you generate carries clarity instead of tension. In the next step, you will activate the 33-second method. But remember this. The power of the method does not come from imagination. It comes from coherence. And coherence begins here. Now your body is steady. Your breath is slower. Your chest is softer. Your nervous system is regulated. This is where the method begins. Remember, this is not about forcing him to think about you. It is about entering a state where connection becomes active and perceptible. This entire practice lasts only 33 seconds. But it must be done with total presence. No rushing. No testing. No doubt. Only embodiment. Phase 1, the exact moment he thinks of you. Close your eyes. Imagine a simple, ordinary scene. He is somewhere familiar. Maybe sitting with a coffee. Maybe working. Maybe driving. It doesn't matter where. Keep it natural. Now, without drama, without intensity, see this. Out of nowhere, your image appears in his mind. Not because he forced it. Not because he decided to think about you. But because something in him shifted. Maybe he hears your laugh in memory. Maybe he remembers the way you looked at him. Maybe a phrase you once said crosses his mind. And for a brief second, he pauses. There is no explanation. Just you. Now activate your physical anchor, the gesture you chose earlier. Press your hand gently to your heart. Or touch your fingers together. Or brush your forehead softly. As you do this, do not try to believe it. Feel it. Feel what it would be like if, in this exact moment, he was thinking about you. Notice your chest. Notice your breath. Notice any warmth. Do not exaggerate the emotion. Subtle is stronger than dramatic. Stay in that felt sense. You are not imagining a fantasy. You are tuning into a possibility as if it is already real. Phase 2, elevated emotion. Now gently add one layer. Choose an emotion that feels light but powerful. Gratitude. Quiet confidence. Soft joy. Not excitement. Not obsession. Not relief. Gratitude. As if something beautiful is already in motion. Let that emotion spread through your body. Keep your gesture active. And internally repeat. I am in his thoughts because I am naturally unforgettable. He feels my presence even when I am not there. I do not chase. I resonate. Say it slowly. Let the words sink beneath logic. What matters is not mental repetition. It is whether your body softens when you say them. If your body relaxes, you are aligned. If it tenses, soften again. This phase is where signal becomes coherent. Your mind holds the image. Your heart holds the emotion. Your body holds the certainty. That is alignment. Stay here for a few breaths. This is the center of the 33 seconds. Phase 3, energetic release. Now comes the most important part. Let it go. Slowly allow the image to dissolve. Not by pushing it away, but by trusting it has already been set in motion. Take one deep breath. Release the physical gesture. And internally whisper. The signal is sent. I am open to receive. That is all. Open your eyes slowly. Do not check your phone. Do not analyze what you felt. Do not measure results. You have activated something subtle. And subtle things require space. The power of this method is not in repetition. It is in precision. When performed from coherence, 33 seconds are enough. Because what you are really activating is not his mind. You are activating your own energetic clarity. And clarity travels farther than force ever could. You've activated the signal. Now comes the most delicate part. Letting it work. Because the fastest way to weaken what you just created is to interfere with it. After you complete the 33-second method, do nothing. Do not check your phone. Do not look for signs. Do not replay the exercise in your mind. Silence is power. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every hour to see if it's growing. You trust the soil. You trust the process. And trust stabilizes energy. Now, there are 3 common mistakes that block this connection in almost every case. Mistake 1, repeating it compulsively. Doing the exercise over and over again in one day does not strengthen it. It weakens it. Why? Because repetition from urgency communicates doubt. It silently says, it wasn't enough. Do it once. Do it cleanly. Then release it. Power comes from precision, not obsession. Mistake 2, searching for immediate proof. Checking his social media. Watching for online status. Waiting for a notification. That behavior pulls you back into anxiety. And anxiety collapses coherence. The connection is most likely to surface when you are calm, busy, centered in your own life. Magnetic energy is self-contained. Mistake 3, talking about it too soon. When you share something sacred before it stabilizes, you dilute it. Not everyone holds your vision with care. Keep this practice private. Let it mature quietly. Now here is the deeper truth. This method is not about controlling a man. It is about remembering who you are. When a woman chooses herself, fully, calmly, without desperation, something shifts in the relational dynamic. She stops asking to be noticed. And starts being felt. Energy does not beg. It resonates. If this video awakens something inside you, don't ignore it. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And turn on notifications. In the next video, we'll go even deeper into feminine coherence and emotional influence. And trust me, you'll want to be there.